Jack 102.3 News.
Hey, it's Meghan. Here's what's making news this morning. London police are investigating a serious collision that took place last night in the south end of the city. Around 10:45 p.m., emergency crews responded to a two-vehicle collision in the area of Wonderland Road and the 402. Officers located two people with injuries, and they were transported to hospital. The roadway has now reopened, and the investigation continues. A new poll has found conspiracy theories are popular in Canada. The Leisure poll of more than 1,500 Canadians found that roughly 5% of us are flat earthers, while 11% think that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did not land on the moon in 1969. Overall, 79% of Canadians reported believing in at least one of a list of conspiracy theories that were mentioned in the survey. And the music world is mourning the death of Canadian singer-songwriter and former lead singer of the rock band April Wine. Miles Goodwin died early yesterday in Halifax at the age of 75. His publicist Eric Alper describes Goodwin as an energetic breath of fresh air and one of the great songwriters of the classic rock era. The band formed in Halifax in 1969 and went on to sell over 10 million recordings worldwide with such hits as You Can Have Been a Lady, Roller, and Just Between You and Me. April Wine was added to Canada's Walk of Fame this fall. In sports, yesterday in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 42-19, and the Houston Texans held on for a 22-17 win over the Broncos. Jack, weather cloudy today. Chance of rain and flurries at a high of 2. Tonight will drop to about -1, feels like -5. And tomorrow, cloudy, chance of flurries in the afternoon with a high of 1. Currently, it's 2.
Jack 102.3 Stax, Meghan, and Lube. There's Nirvana and Smells Like Teen Spirit. It is a drizzly Monday morning coming down out there.
You should sing the song that you were singing.
Drizzly Monday morning coming down. It's just sort of made up on the spot. What is it, 2 right now? And we're going to go up to what?
2.
No, that's it.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
We've hit the high water mark for today. Hey, anybody want to take stock of their weekend? I got a Monday mulligan if you want.
Sure.
This is where we like to
Get her done.
look at our weekend and think, what would I have done over or not done at all? By the way, if you have a Monday mulligan that you want to share, 21023. Call anytime, 519-690-1023. All right, my Monday mulligan is we had in-laws at my dinner at my in-laws last night.
Okay.
And my mulligan is I shouldn't have worn like a thick sweater to dinner.
Oh, that's the worst because it's already like extra people, so it's like super hot in
The
there.
house is already hot because the oven's on.
The oven's on.
And then you sit down at the dinner table, you just feel like, I don't know.
It's
Are you wearing
gross.
your
You
thick
can't
cardigan?
move, right? Like claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And I was sweating bullets, like within the first 5 minutes sitting down. So that's my Monday mulligan. I know that's pretty lame, but I'm looking back going, why did I wear a hot sweater to dinner?
And you can't take it off because then you're all your shirt's all sweaty underneath.
Yeah. No, you have to. I
gotta
think
commit.
we talked about this before, how there should be dinner wear that is like loose. And I don't just mean like putting on a pair of sweatpants. I mean somebody construct and tailor something that is specific for
That looks nice.
the dinner table. It doesn't even have to look nice, but this is an eating garment. It's loose fitting. It's made of some lightweight material, so when like you're at a function and there's a lot of people and the oven's on and the kitchen's hot and the dining room's hot, you're just not going to boil.
You just need like a built-in fan to fan the bits. And the pits. The bits and the pits.
I've talked about having my bits and pits fanned before, Meghan. Thank you for that. And I apologize to anybody who's now got that visual in their head of my bits and my pits.
At the dinner table.
Yeah, at the dinner table.
You're welcome.
Bare naked ladies, pinch me. Stax, Meghan, and Luke. Hey, can I got a different Monday mulligan.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do my Monday mulligan this morning is my Monday mulligan from this morning because I realized after I was like, that just sounded really lame. I'm like, I wore a sweater to dinner. That's my mulligan. Megan's like, once we got off air, she's like, wow, you wore a sweater. Wow. Good one. So that's my Monday mulligan is my Monday mulligan.
That's better. That one's better.
Jack, 102.3, Stax, Meghan, and Luke. There's Karma Chameleon, courtesy of Culture Club 624. Sad news to hear about Miles Goodwin of April Wine. That was in your news, Meghan. Passed away yesterday, 75 years old. Cause of death is still unclear. Although he even said earlier last year, the last show that he played with April Wine was in March of this year, early March. He even said, he goes, just my life of drinking and a lot of the other things I got into when I was younger kind of caught up to me, and it's just not healthy for me to be out on the road and living out of a suitcase. I just need to kind of unwind.
Yeah.
He still kind of continued to work with the band and help manage them and stuff like that, but he passed away in Halifax, 75 years old. Were you a huge April Wine fan?
I liked them. I think they had a ton of hits. Like, they were very prolific. I remember, like, when I used to work at a bar, and it seemed like all they ever played was that one April Wine, like, greatest hits. Like, that was pretty much the soundtrack for this bar, like, all the time. Like, and if I DJ'd there a couple times, and everyone always requested April Wine. It was constant. Like,
yeah, it was just one of those bands. They were around sort of before I started really getting into music, but my older cousin, who I think I've talked about before, he was kind of a big influence on me, and some of the rock and roll I listened to always had April Wine t-shirts, April Wine albums, April Wine 8-tracks.
Oh yeah,
in the car. Yeah. So anyways,
what's the song that is it? Oh What a Night? Is that one that's like like that one?
Yeah, What a Night.
That one, I remember that specifically.
Well, I remember this one specifically. Go back to 1978. Was this off of First Glance? April Wine. Rest in peace, Miles Goodwin. Jack, 102.3, Stax, Meghan, and Loop at 6:39. Hey, this is neither here nor there, but I was just reading this interesting article. I came across this on CNN, and it's really about if anybody's ever like had like a parent or a grandparent like share a secret, before they pass. And you're like, I thought I knew this person. Yeah. Anyway, so it's a story about this woman who is visiting her dad on his deathbed. He's dying of lung cancer, and he at the hospital, he says, I have a secret to tell you. Anyways, he goes on to tell her that like the name that she's growing up knowing, his name and her last name, are not real. They were made up because he was actually a fugitive who robbed a bank in Ohio 50 years earlier and was actually still on the most wanted list. What? But the chase had gone cold. Like the marshals just didn't know where to look beyond that because he changed his identity, started a new life. He got married. Did he
move states and stuff too?
Yeah, he did. He was in Massachusetts when he passed. So he raised his family in Massachusetts, and his daughter was just like, if you can imagine like a secret. Like, I'm just fascinated by this story. I was just reading it now, so that's why I'm sharing it now. But she went home to her childhood house where they grew up, and she's laying there on her bed, and she starts Googling it, and sure enough, she finds out there's this story about this young 20-year-old who worked. I guess he worked in a bank, in a vault. Like, he had control of the vault. And one lunch, he just went in, loaded up a couple of bags with about $215,000 cash, which today would be about $1.3 million.
Yeah.
And just walked out. And it was on a Friday.
Is tainted.
So they didn't discover this until Monday. By that point, he was long gone. But this father and son Marshall have made it their mission to catch him. And anyway, so it turns out
like an unsolved mystery.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. The story of that D.B. Cooper mystery, right? Like that 1971 mystery about the guy that apparently jumped out of a plane with $200,000 in cash. And I don't know. I just find it fascinating. And anyway, so it turns out that the police were almost onto him before he passed.
Oh, really?
And her and her mom decided they didn't want to tell this story. They were going to let him pass. They were going to grieve for a week or however long before they let the authorities know. So they're not in trouble for anything. But the authorities did come knocking on the door and said, "Yeah, we were pretty close anyways before he passed because of some sort of note that was signed, and they were able to track it." And it was pretty wild.
That's wild.
To me, he held on to that secret for so long. Like, I personally don't think that I could do that. And that something that big too is like always there in the back of your mind as you like watch your children grow and like make your life for yourself and everything. Like, and then it's such like straight out of a movie where it's like, I can't die knowing that like this secret is going to be held with me. I need to tell someone, That's so
Well,
wild.
he basically got away with it. Like he
got away
totally
with it.
did. Like,
Yeah.
And now it's like, here, I'll tell you what happened. But
Yeah.
But she's left kind of going, oh, well, like my name, like it's not even my real last name because it's a fabricated name. There's no attachment to this name. You know what I mean? And it starts explaining things like why like they would never. The mom and the daughter tried to get him to go on a trip to Europe, and he was just like, no, I'm just afraid of flying. But it really was because he couldn't get a passport.
Right.
And he just sort of had to stay and fly under the radar, right? Like,
wow.
Isn't that wild?
Crazy.
Anyway, I just found that story fascinating. Like, the world of like dark secrets like that and being able to hold on to something like that and, these secret lives that people lead. It's just, it's wild.
What's your dark secret? 690-1023.
No, you say that glibly, but no, anybody that, have you ever found out anything? Like, it doesn't have to be something like nefarious.
Yeah, it could be anything.
But
Yeah.
just like anything, I don't know.
You have a long lost brother.
Just,
Something like that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We're here. Anyways, if you got a story, 519-690-1023. Text at 21023. I just thought that it was a really interesting read, and I had to share it just because I was reading it behind the scenes here.
Hey, it's Meghan. Here's what's making news this morning. London police are investigating a serious collision that took place last night in the south end of the city. Around 10:45, emergency crews responded to a two-vehicle collision in the area of Wonderland Road and the 402. Officers located two people with injuries, and they were transported to hospital. The roadway has now reopened, and the investigation continues. A new poll has found conspiracy theories are popular in Canada. The leisure poll of more than 1,500 Canadians found that roughly 5% of us are flat earthers, while 11% think that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did not land on the moon in 1969. Overall, 79% of Canadians reported believing in at least one of a list of conspiracy theories that were mentioned in the survey. The most popular among Canadian respondents was 55% who said that they believe the mainstream media manipulates the information it reports. And the music world is mourning the death of Canadian singer-songwriter and former lead singer of the rock band April Wine. Miles Goodwin died early yesterday in Halifax at the age of 75. The band formed in Halifax in 1969 and went on to sell over 10 million recordings worldwide with such hits as You Could Have Been a Lady, Roller, and Just Between You and Me. April Wine was added to Canada's Walk of Fame this fall. In sports, yesterday in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 42-19, and the Houston Texans held on for a 22-17 win over the Broncos. Jack, weather cloudy today. We could see some flurries later on and a high of 2. Tonight will drop to about -1, and tomorrow cloudy, chance of flurries in the afternoon with the high of 1. Currently, it's 2.
Jack 1023, Stax, Meghan, and Loop. There's Madonna and Like a Prayer. It is 11 minutes past 7 right now, and we are at 2, and that's about as high as it is getting today in the forecast.
Has anyone ever been a part of a leisure poll before?
I don't.
No.
So
like census.
Leisure poll is like the market research. I talk about them like on my news. Like I just had one in my news today, a leisure poll about the conspiracy theories, stuff like that. It can be asked about politics, or like silly little things like kind of like mine was. I honestly, when I got the email, I felt like I was like being called to jury duty. I was like, this is so important. I am contributing to society.
To a national poll.
To a national poll.
It's a good thing they sent it to you through email, too, because you wouldn't have been able to respond if you had to mail it, not knowing whether or not you're supposed to put a stamp on
yes.
it.
Are we done with that?
Sorry.
Anyway, so I got the email over the weekend, and it said in it that I drink a lot of coffee. And
Okay.
so would you like to be part of a poll about coffee?
How does it know you drink a lot of coffee? Is this like...
Well, so it's also said that like, oh, you're a Nespresso rewards member or whatever. So based on the fact that you sign up for Nespresso and you're like a frequent purchaser of Nespresso.
I mean, it shouldn't amaze us this day and age that they know what we do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's all out there. I'm just curious how they came to that
so that was
conclusion.
the reasoning why in the email, saying that you're like an Espresso Rewards member and based
So they
on the
asked
amount
you
of
about coffee?
purchases. So I did it was like 25 minutes long, all based on coffee and like how I like my coffee.
Oh God! Did they have enough spots for your special order?
They had
Megan like goes in for like a regular like extra large coffee, but somehow like it has to turn into like a mocha whipped frappa iced Lapa Kappa
99%
Dingachino.
of people love a good coffee. 1% has an obnoxious order.
I know. You should see the fear in Luke's eyes whenever he's taking a coffee order and Megan gives hers.
It's not that hard. It's
Her
really
princess
not.
special request.
I just like things done in
It's
a
not
specific
normal.
way.
10% tap water. And
So where are you going with this? Sorry, I'm lost now.
Fine. My question is that have you ever been asked to do a poll, and if so, what was it? Or
Based on your interest and your expertise.
yeah, based on your interests and your expertise, because I just felt like such a coffee connoisseur. Like when I was
Luke would
like
get
filling
one,
out
it's
this
like,
poll.
I've noticed you've been looking at a lot of Marvel stuff. Would you be interested in doing a poll from your basement
specifically
And sending pictures.
about your collectibles? Yeah. No, I haven't. I don't even know what my thing what would I be an expert in? I don't know.
Ailments.
Yeah, we notice you're we notice your knee hurts a lot.
Yeah. We noticed you've gone to the doctor 62 times this year.
Would you be willing to do a poll on orthotics and bifocals? Yeah, that's about the size of it right there. Yeah, I don't know if you got what was your leisure poll? What were you an expert in that you were asked to contribute to? Hey, this is Jack, 102.3. It is Stax, Meghan, and Loop. We're here at 519-690-1023. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday morning. Did you, just ahead of Loop's shout-out here, did you mention that we could see snow?
There's a potential for some snow today.
I think I'm ready for a little bit.
just a bit.
That's all I want to say.
December,
I
sure.
just want like a dusting. I just want like a festive dusting.
Festive
that's what I want.
dusting.
You know you make me wanna Now wait a minute.
All right, shout out to air being in the gas line when you're trying to pump gas.
What? How do you know that it's in there?
Well, you know when you're trying to pump gas and it's like kukung, kukung, kukung. You can't get it. You know when you just press the gas handle,
Yeah.
and the gas just comes out. But there's those times when there's air in it and it won't. You can't connect.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, and so it's
I
like
didn't know
it's like
that.
it's
Oh,
like
so you got to kind of feather it.
yeah, you got to feather, and then you got to like do it so gently where you can just find that sweet spot where it'll actually pump. But it's never enough, so it's like
If anybody's just joining us right now,
Yeah,
Luke's
this
talking
is
about
weird.
a gas pump.
He's also making hand
right in that
signals
second
too.
where
Yeah.
you just got to squeeze it gently so it begins to pump. But please continue.
But you know when you get that sweet spot, but it's like it's
Stop
not.
using the hand signals.
But you're like,
Stop saying sweet spot.
it's not enough.
Stop saying pump.
It's just spraying it just enough that it's like, but not fast enough. You know what I'm saying?
Stop saying fast.
It's just like you're just tickling it, you know, just enough to get just enough out. But it's just
That's right. Then you pull out the feather and the leather mask with the zipper mouth. Wait, we're still talking about pumping gas.
yes. But it just takes forever because it's like I don't know why, but it's just so annoying. Like you just want to get out of there, but it's just taking forever.
Yeah.
There's no way to say this without sounding dirty.
Yeah. That was, and that's a little, air in the gas line is what we were talking about there, if you're just wondering. That is the greatest shout out ever. That went completely off the rails. Jack 102.3 with Stax, Meghan, and Loop. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. We're here at 519-690-1023. Text anytime and be a part of the show at 21023. There's Green Day and Good Riddance at 737. Found a couple of advent calendars on Friday.
Oh, did you?
So it was December 1st, and Kim and I forgot to get them ahead of time for the girls, so I was like scrambling. Like let's put it this way, I couldn't find an advent calendar for under, like, that wasn't candy.
Yeah.
For under $60. Like, we like getting the girls, like the ones that are, like, we talked about it, like the little dioramas.
Yep.
So anyways, I found a couple at Indigo or Chapters, whatever.
What'd you get?
I got Audrey some little, like, it's a little elf on the shelf themed airport.
Cute.
So every day she opens up, might be like a little plastic plane.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
cool.
and then a little tiny elf that you can put in the plane.
Yeah.
And Hannah likes those. What's that company? It's like a German company. I think they make the farm animals and the Schlegel or Stiegel or Schlager. I can't remember what they're called, but they are Schleisel.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it's like a Farm World thing. Sorry. You know the name. If you've got kids and they like these little animal toys, you know exactly what brand I'm talking about. I just can't think of the name.
Yeah.
So they're excited.
Very cute.
Like, very excited. So what's today? Day 4. So yeah, they're like fully into it.
Yeah. My friend Thomas, I was talking to him, and he's got 3 kids, and what he does is he buys like they're for like screws and stuff. It's like dividers. You can buy them like
Yeah.
And so then he just buys his own stuff and puts them in those slots for them, and that becomes their advent calendar.
Oh, that's awesome. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, to another point of different type of advent calendars, I've seen, like, this would be my perfect man. Boyfriends, like, making their girlfriends, like, book advent calendars, and then they get to open up a book every day. What do you... I think that's so cute. It's a great idea.
I've got my version of the advent calendar. It's like all my daily pills. And marks each day I open up a little plastic organizational box.
And it doesn't end. It never ends.
Perfect.
Yeah, maybe he could give you that book advent calendar like in a book bar.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, it's Megan. Here's what's making news this morning. London police are investigating a serious collision that took place last night in the south end of the city. Around 10:45 p.m., emergency crews responded to a 2-vehicle collision in the area of the Wonderland Road and the 402. Officers located 2 people with injuries, and they were transported to hospital. The roadway has now reopened, and the investigation continues. A new poll has found conspiracy theories are popular in Canada. The leisure poll of more than 1,500 Canadians found that roughly 5% of us are flat earthers, while 11% think that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did not land on the moon in 1969. Overall, 79% of Canadians reported believing in at least one of a list of conspiracy theories that were mentioned in the survey. And the music world is mourning the death of Canadian singer-songwriter and former lead singer of the rock band April Wine. Miles Goodwin died early Sunday in Halifax at the age of 75. The band formed in Halifax in 1969 and went on to sell over 10 million recordings worldwide, with such hits as You Could Have Been a Lady, Roller, and Just Between You and Me. April Wine was added to Canada's Walk of Fame this fall. In sports, yesterday in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 42-19, and the Houston Texans held on for a 22-17 win over the Broncos. Tonight in the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens will look to snap a 2-game losing skid when they entertain the Seattle Kraken. Jack, weather cloudy today. Rain right now, but that could change to flurries later on and a high of 2. Tonight, cloudy will drop to -1, and tomorrow, cloudy, chance of flurries in the afternoon with the high of 1. Currently, it's 2.
Jack News for ArtCal Graphics. At Print is now located at ArtCal Graphics on Industrial Road.
Jack, 102.3, Stax, Meghan, and Loop. There's AC/DC, and you shook me all night long. It is 8:09. Thanks to Loop, who just let us know that tomorrow is what day? Krampus Day?
It's like Krampus Day.
Krampus needs to be celebrated more on the holidays.
He's always forgotten about, you
I
know.
love Krampus. Speaking of Krampus, do you know that the Highland Cinema on Warncliffe is going to be showing the Krampus on the 8th of December? You can go check out the Krampus.
Are they playing like Christmas movies?
They have an awesome, right now, schedule of movies that they're showing. And yes, to answer your question, Meg, I'm just trying to open up their calendar here. So we took the girls, Kim and I took Hannah and Audrey yesterday to see A Christmas Story.
Oh, nice.
At the Highland Cinema.
Yeah.
And we loved it. And I saw your friend Nora there.
Yeah, she was there. Yep.
And it was just like a fun experience, like, you know, vintage theater. And the girls are so used to like the other theaters with those seats, and it was just nice to kind of go back to like a regular theater.
Yeah, like simpler days.
I loved it. I got to say this too. Get out and support the Highland. Right? Because without your support, I mean, I don't know if you saw that story in the news, it was last week. Like, it could end up shutting down if they can't, you know, because they're trying their best to pay off their the COVID relief that they got from the government.
Yep.
And the government's coming to collect.
Yeah.
And without butts in the seats, it's going to be hard to pay those bills. So come back and see the films because they do have great movies. And I know you're a big supporter, Loop, of the Highland. And
well, they have around Oscar season too. They always have a lot of the movies, especially the foreign ones, and that they aren't really just played in the theaters. They often will play them, so it's a good way to catch up on those movies before the Oscars happen. Plus, they have a lot of cool. I love seeing a movie, an older movie that I maybe saw in the theater when I was a kid, but watching it again in the theater, it's an all new experience. And again, you don't have all the distractions of looking at your phone and all the stuff that you would have at home. You can actually concentrate on the movie again. You see so many. I saw Indiana Jones again a while ago, and it was seeing it for the first time. There's stuff I caught because I was fully focused on it. I love it. And they have so many Christmas movies, Elf and Krampus and Polar Express and The Grinch, and they got all sorts of stuff coming up.
It was also neat to be in there because we were there to see A Christmas Story, but seeing a trailer for the Polar Express, that's how old's that movie? But you're seeing a trailer,
that's cool
for it, and it's just I just love it. I love the crew who work there and run the concessions, so friendly, and just you get all the standard stuff. Go and get your popcorn and your pop. Whole bunch of different teas that you can get as well. And I don't know, I love the experience, and I regret that I probably haven't gone there as much as, I should have in the past years. But going there yesterday really made me think, man, more people should be supporting this place.
Yeah.
Because it's the last of its kind in our city. You think of these standalone theaters. If you want a really good movie experience. But anyways, check them out, highlandcinema.com. is where you can go. And so like Meghan was just saying, or Loop was just saying too, so we saw A Christmas Story, but they got coming up this week, you can go see, well, they also have the new movie Killers of the Flower Moon,
which I really want to see.
The new Scorsese.
Yeah.
Give yourself that's 3 hours. Christmas Story again tomorrow night, 8:30 tomorrow night. They got Christmas Vacation. Elf on Friday night. Lot of Christmas movies coming up.
It's a Wonderful Life too, which is coming out, which I actually would like to see in the theater.
That was neat as well, seeing a trailer for that. Seeing a trailer for It's a Wonderful Life. Anyways, tip of the hat to the Highland, and encouraging you if you want a great movie experience, just continue to support them because they need it right now.